Are you looking for Oslo giants and tech? Oslo giants and tech. Also open Sundays.
Meet Hermes Trismegistus, the Greek emissary and messenger of the gods, often described as moving freely between the worlds of the mortal and the divine. Meet electromagnetism, also described as moving freely between the worlds of the mortal and the divine.
In the source we find so-called seeds, the seeds of the source. And they create fields of energy. And those energy manifest themselves into shapes. Shapes we find in the shadow world, fields in the flow world, and seeds in the source world. And here is the veil that prevents us to see the first two worlds. We can only see this. The veil is blocking our vision into the flow world or the source world. Fields create shapes. When we change the field, the shape changes also. But the other way is also true. By changing the shape, we also change the field of energy. That's the fascinating thing. By using a different shape, we invite different energies to come into the shape.
Norse mythology is world famous for its electrical and magical gods like Thor, his brother Loki, his father Odin, the ice giants of the north, and of course the only one we find on all of these antique buildings around Oslo, Hermes Trismegistus.
Houston, we have a problem.
Even stranger than finding our winged hat god 2,600 kilometers away from Greece, freezing his loincloth off and mingling with ice giants, we find enormous structures adorned with space-age high-tech antennae, enormous Greco-Roman pillars and columns, 20-foot-high doors, and strange winged ornaments. These buildings stick out like a sore thumb from their inferior contemporary surroundings. Speaking of our winged god, as you can see, birds are constantly circling these futuristic antennae. Coincidence? It has been postulated that these antenna-clad megastructures and churches were not only buildings but massive devices, currently coined antiquitech. It has also been postulated that we didn't build these structures. We inherited them as recently as 200 years ago. The current working theory is still being formulated, but it goes something like this. There was an ancient civilization that was harvesting free atmospheric energy for electricity, weaponry, and healing using cymatic resonance. It also has possible nutritional and mental health properties, and as far out as using phase cancellation of electromagnetic fields for levitation of large objects. What may be called, for lack of a better word, anti-gravity. These buildings and the technology are not only found in Oslo, they can be found in every city and on every continent worldwide. There are always high antennae on top of these structures, usually having some kind of ball or balls theorized to contain mercury. Mercury just happens to be the Roman name for Hermes, the messenger of the gods. Nothing to see here, people. Move along. They usually sit upon a sacred geometric structure, such as an octagon or hexagonal-shaped base, right under the antenna. Sometimes a coiled or cone-shaped roof, usually made of copper or gold, are utilized because they are the best-known conductors of electricity. It is also speculated that there are coiled wires to collect the atmospheric energy and somehow store it, like a Tesla coil. The buildings themselves are usually banded in stripes in an anode-cathode configuration. The lighter stone or brick has quartz-based conductive properties, whereas the middle band of darker stone does not, just like an ordinary battery. Take a look around your own cities for large buildings that look like they have red and tan striped brickwork and other above-mentioned adornments. I'm sure you'll find many. They also seem to have banded arches and intricate ornamentation, often with scenes of angels and cherubs, which may be metaphors, like Hermes' hat, for the unseen world of electromagnetism. a true gift from the gods. Lastly, we cannot ponder the sheer magnitude of these unfathomable architectural feats without bringing up the dirty G word. No, not that one. No, not that one either. Giants. Strangely, giants walk among us today in our sports teams, just as dwarves and midgets fill our favourite TV series, comedies, and Randy Newman songs. Is it really so hard to believe that they were walking around a few hundred years ago? Look at the size of these buildings and the height of these doorways and windows. 20-foot high doors and windows that require a 3-foot step ladder just to peek over for an average-sized person. Artifacts have been found worldwide of giant books, eating utensils, bowls, even swords as long as your living room. Buildings in every city around the world seem to be built for people 10 to sometimes 20 feet taller than you and I. Could they have been built not so long ago by, I don't know, perhaps the ice giants of the north? Food for thought.
Oslo giants and tick.